holidays. Sorry to interrupt my good friend Elkin there. We were talking about the holidays, the good, the bad, and the bullshit.
I'm quiet. I just checked my shit and I was fucking loud. Hold on.
Smirky thinks everybody's quiet, so if you just ignore the Smirky.
Compared to the banshee that is Smirky.
Thank you for the first time chat there, Smirky. Do I sound better now?
Smirky, how do I sound, bud? Am I good, bud?
He said Jesus.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Where are we parking?
Alright, so we're talking about holidays. Holidays. You know,
right,
everybody's
so-
favorite holiday is, of course, Halloween that just passed.
You
Favorite
undercutting
holiday is
son of a bitch.
My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because leftovers be bomb.
I was gonna say let's start off with the easy. What's everybody's favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
Thanksgiving.
food, obviously.
Spanky.
Shit. I don't know if I have a favorite, bud.
I don't think shit's a holiday.
I don't get to fucking celebrate any of them.
Well, despite
Okay.
that, if the few times you actually get to enjoy a holiday, which ones are the ones that you would like to enjoy?
Probably. This is gonna be cliche as shit, but probably 4th of July, just because
America.
fireworks, explosions, boom.
I can
all
get
that
down
good
with
stuff.
4th of July. 4th of July is always fun.
Summertime, booty shorts, tied up tank tops, shit like that.
Wait, are you wearing the booty shorts? I'm confused here.
I mean, I'd pay to see
I
it.
can wear whatever
Sexually
you
or
want me to,
intellectually?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
Mac, what's your favorite holiday?
I'm going to echo with you, big dog. I'm going to Thanksgiving because of the family, the food, and the football. The three things that make life worth living.
Got that
I-
Iron Bowl.
I miss watching my Texas A&M and Texas the day after Thanksgiving while eating leftovers of pecan pie and delicious turkey sandwiches with mayo.
Also known as pecan pie, but you know.
You said pecan pie, and then you said something
You're
nasty
wrong.
goes on turkey, so I don't know.
You got to put some mayo on that dry turkey.
Oh.
It's dry,
That's
just
what-
sitting in the
that's what
fridge.
That's what the cranberry sauce is for.
Ew. Ew. Both of y'all. Just get a nice
What?
fucking fried
Bro, I
turkey.
like that.
Cranberry sauce?
I'll sit there and eat cranberry sauce out the fucking can.
Yeah, just bust that shit open, throw it on a plate. I'll eat it.
Well,
So-
to each their own. But for me, it's the thing. Like, I just love having the family around. There's always the food. There's the challenge of who's going to try to step up to the plate to come up against the big dog and try to out eat him, and it never happens.
Never happens.
Never.
Nope.
Might happen this year. Might happen this year because of the weight loss, but don't say gross, Freedom. It's not gross, okay?
Again,
And smart
to each their own.
cheese.
Everybody likes some people. Some people like the green bean casserole, which makes me want to upchuck.
Ugh.
Some people is all about the pumpkin pie. Some people is about the stuffing.
Sweet
But
potato
again,
casserole.
that's the great thing about Thanksgiving. Love it or hate it, you have all the food, all the family, and then you mix in all the professional football, the college football. It's a great time.
Yeah.
Viva la honey baked ham.
And
Honey
the only
baked
reason
ham.
one of the main reasons I like Christmas besides family is Mariah Carey comes on the radio like 24/7.
Okay, you can stop with that. Now, Christmas for me is all about the little ones. Just seeing them happy on Christmas Day. I hate the commercialism of it. It's why it's not bad, but it's close to the BS. But
It's no, the BS is the holiday that comes after Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta talk about everybody's second favorite holiday, which is Valentine's Day. You know.
No,
oh, no,
that's
that's the BS. That's the bad.
Smirky said Christmas is number one, but Smirky's also a child at heart, so he still gets toys.
Again, I have nothing against Christmas. I don't like the commercialism of it, but I like my kids getting some toys, playing with Legos. I'm all about that.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
The lights, the going around, the seeing stuff.
And Freedom, the stuffing is like my favorite part of Christmas and Thanksgiving because there's stuffing at both.
Yeah.
I
So you
don't.
get those people that like don't cut up the celery all the way, so you get like big ass chunks.
I'm just not a
I wa-
stuffing fan. I'm just
No,
not.
I'm not a
you're
sucker.
wrong.
I know.
Valentine's is not number two. It's the worst day. It's the bad one. Because here it is,
Hey.
40 some odd days after Christmas, and now this woman expects me to wine her diner and buy her something super expensive. Like, I just bought you a whole swath of shit 2 months ago, and now you want more stuff? That is the greediest, most self-centered holiday. It ain't nothing for man.
Nope.
Hey,
My
look,
dad,
he's still young. Give him some time. He'll
my
learn.
my dad got the what? No, no, no.
Go ahead.
I've never
Go
had a
ahead,
bad
buddy.
Valentine's Day ever.
Mm.
You young. Now
I'm
that you're gonna
young.
pop out a kid, that some bitch is gonna be like freaking a VIP booth. You gotta pay and reserve time in there.
Damn
Oof,
straight.
That's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting
That's
to.
that's
Give it a
the
minute.
that's going to the theme park and you get to see your favorite roller coasters fucking shut down for fucking maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Damn straight.
If you don't pay for that VIP pass, the flash pass, you don't get in.
See, my dad got to double down on Christmas because that's when he married my mom. So Thanksgiving's out the window, or Thanksgiving Valentine's Day's out the window.
Dude, I'm screwed. My wedding anniversary half the time falls on Mother's Day. Oh yeah, I get the old 1-2.
Hell no.
I get the Tyson Fury uppercut.
Well, how about this? Mother's Day and Father's Day. Mother's Day, generally the father is taking care of the mom. Kids make all the presents. You cook her food and everything else. And then comes Father's Day. Generally, even the father is still cooking his own barbecue and doing everything for himself. So it's like Father's Day. Is it really a holiday?
Again, as a Father's Day, let me ask you this: on Father's Day, what's the one thing we all want on Father's Day?
To be left alone.
Cheap tools at
Left
Lowe's.
the hell alone. And what do we
You know-
do? Hey, we're gonna go out to the favorite restaurant. This ain't my favorite. This is not where I wanted to go. I wanted to be in bed with a pizza on my chest, watching a dirty movie.
Mhm.
Leave me the hell alone. Take the kids and go away.
Exactly.
See, my issue with those two holidays, Mother's Day and Father's Day, is because being a divorced parent,
Huh.
the whole, well, happy Father's Day to all those single moms. No, no, y'all had yours. Y'all
Yeah.
had yours. You have
Exactly.
Mother's Day. You have Mother's Day. And before anyone tries to harp on me, my mom was a single mom until she met my dad. He's my stepdad, but he's been with me since I was 2, so that's gonna confuse the shit out of people. But yeah, no. I don't go on Mother's Day and say Happy Mother's Day to all my single daddies out there.
Again, that ties into kind of going to Valentine's Day thing. I think there are too many holidays for women, and they are too close together. You need to space them some bitches out. Christmas, 3 months later, you can do Valentine's Day. 3 months after that, you can do Mother's Day, and then we right back into the holiday season with Halloween and all that crap. The problem is they just back in the month or front load the year with all these women's holidays, and I got to spend all my money on them. And the one day that I get, like they even tried to jokingly make a man's holiday called Blowjob and a Steak Day, and that shit never got any traction. And that's the one day we should all, as men, be behind. Like fuck
Mhm.
Father's Day, give me that holiday. I didn't say it had to be you, baby. There just needs to be a BJ and a T-bone.
So Smirky says St. Patrick's Day is number 3.
St. Patrick's Day is for fake ass people who just want a reason to get drunk.
Waka waka. There you have it, folks.
I was gonna say that's a unless you were sitting there and you got a shamrock on your ass,
Yeah. Yeah. I
which
mean,
I did get to go to Chicago for St. Patty's Day one year, and that was amazing.
Now, see, I give the caveat: Boston, Chicago, New York for St. Patrick's Day. Those are some good times. Every other town in America for St. Patty's Day. Oh, kiss me, I am Irish. Fuck off. I like the old guys at the end of the bar who are the salty old Irish bastards who are looking at all you dipshits in there with your green t-shirts and your buttons and your fucking shillelaghs and your little goofy ass hats that are ranting and like, kiss me, I'm Irish. Like, fuck off. You got as much black as you have Irish in you. You ain't shit.
and thank you for that follow there, Stubert98 on the Twitch play page. Y'all can check us out at twitch.tv/Deep Fried Friends. Because soon we are going to be getting this podcast actually out on the podcast airwaves and other different forms. But for right now, it's all on Twitch, and eventually we'll be uploading some stuff to YouTube as well. So if you're listening to us from the future, this is where we started.
Yep. So like, listen, let's go back to like what Spanky said. Spanky said July 4th. That's a good holiday
Mm-hmm.
because there's no pretense to it other than loving the freedoms that we have for this country, for better or for worse. That's the one day it's like, hey, put everything down, forget what you're doing, grab some barbecue, grab some fireworks, a couple of frosty beverages, just have a good day. There's no
Yep.
pretense.
And go buy like a couple of large boxes of tea and throw it into some random pond.
Those 2 days don't correlate at all with the actual event you're talking about. But sure.
Hey, we all have our traditions, okay?
Yeah, like I said, for me, I'm a Marine, so the Marine Corps birthday is on the 10th, which is coming up here in 9 days. The day after that is Veterans Day, and so those are two important ones because that celebrates the people we lost in World War I. It's kind of like Memorial Day without being as sad. So that those are good times for military folks. At the same time, it's bad times because you think about all your friends that you've lost, family members that fought, grandpas, uncles, etc.
Wow.
But it's a good reason to have some beers, have some barbecue, and be
Mhm.
goddamn proud we're Americans.
And that's what
Hell
I've
yeah, shoot some guns, blow some tannerite, all the fun stuff.
that's what I've always thought. Like July 4th should be everybody in the United States should act like, and this is going to be reaching a little bit, but just think back to September 12th, 2001. Everybody in this country came together as one country under one flag. We were all united, and that's how every 4th of July should be treated. Doesn't matter which aisle you lean, if you're left, you're right, it doesn't matter. We all live in this great country called America, and it should be celebrated on July 4th, I mean, put aside differences and just be one. And then the next day, go back to hating each other. It sucks, but, at least for that one day, we should all be one united country.
Yep. I see, that's why I like that when there's no pretense as a holiday. You're just celebrating the best and sometimes the worst of America, but so you're just generally enjoying a day off in the middle of the summer. Like Spanky said, there's girls in bikinis and Daisy Dukes, and the kids are running around with water balloons and chasing the dog, and you're sitting in the lawn chair listening to good music with a beverage in your hand, whatever you prefer. That it to me is what a holiday is supposed to be about, is just enjoying the people around you and forgetting that bullshit that drags us down every single day.
Amen to
Yeah.
that.
So since we're talking about holidays, yesterday was Halloween, right? Went to Sonic to get breakfast. Chick comes out to hand me my food and my drink. Go to leave. She says, "Oh, by the way, happy holidays." Never in my life have I ever had anyone say happy holidays on Halloween. Caught me
Huh.
so off guard. All I could say was, "You too."
So what?
I stood there. I was driving home. I was like, "This woman actually said happy holidays on Halloween. I don't even know how to take this right now."
Well, that's just a generation of people who've been raised with this political correctness crap of you can't say happy Halloween, you can't say happy Thanksgiving or Merry Christmas or happy Kwanzaa or happy Hanukkah because God forbid you actually, it's like misgendering somebody. God forbid that we don't walk around with the name tag and all these banners on us like a NASCAR driver that lists all of our holidays, our pronouns, and blah blah blah.
Right.
Again, if it's Halloween, just say Happy Halloween. If you don't, right there on the 24th, 25th, 26th, I understand saying Happy Holidays because there's overlap between Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa, and you don't want to piss somebody off because you don't know which one they celebrate or they celebrate all three.
But then
But
again, why should it piss?
Halloween is
Yeah.
Halloween. That
I mean, even the whole telling somebody Merry Christmas, and yeah, they celebrate Hanukkah. Does that really should that really piss them off though? They could be like, "Oh, Happy Holidays to you." You know, I don't understand why people have to take it to that next level and get angry because, like you said, I don't know what you celebrate. I mean, I'm telling you Merry Christmas. It's a nice thing to do because it's that time of year. I understand that you may be Jewish and celebrate Hanukkah, or you may celebrate Kwanzaa, but to me, the polite thing to do is just reply back, "Oh, happy holidays to you." You don't have to say Merry Christmas back. You just say happy holidays to the person. Move on. Doesn't hurt you, you know.
Yeah, you could be a blended family and celebrate all three, or two out of the
Mhm.
three, or only one. So I say a happy holidays just as a general statement. It's not
Yeah.
supposed to be politically correct, like you said. I just don't know, so I'm not trying to offend somebody. I don't really care, but it's like saying, hey, y'all have a good time, whatever you're doing this year, because I might not see you for 2 weeks again.
Exactly. Or you can
You
be
might
like,
you might you might go through doing Hanukkah and then do Christmas, and then I might not see you until after New Year's, and that's 3 holidays. So you have happy holidays.
So we've touched on the good and the bad. So what holiday would you consider the BS?
I'm gonna let y'all say this first because I'm gonna go off.
Hold on. Before we go into that, I want to follow up on elk. He's talking about one catching him off guard. I just posted two pictures in our Discord on general.
Oh
Uh,
hell no!
Dude, so I was up, I was at work, right? I'm up in a fucking crane working on the damn thing, and I look over. I'm like, what is that? Right? Like, is that a damn clown?
Oh my
And so
god.
I get out my phone, right? I get my phone, I take a picture, I zoom in. I'm like, motherfucking Pennywise is over at the damn. The dude, it was the lockmaster who was dressed up as Pennywise, right? This guy, I caught him right before he walked back into his little office right there. But he walked over, and there's a group of guys on the right side, out of frame that you can't see. They're down in there working. Most of them laborers and stuff, which laborers are kind of lower end of the tier, right? A bunch of them probably like recovering crackheads and shit like that. And he he leaned over and waved at them. I was like, I bet there's about 10 of them tripping balls in there, just freaking out now.
I think one
Oh.
person that would have ended that clown right then and there.
Do you
Dodds,
like clowns?
Dodds would have ended that clown's life the second it popped up.
No,
Oh,
what's funny is
really?
that clown would have just walked up and be like, "Everything floats here."
Oh,
Guys,
dude, I fucking died on this one. It was great,
clowns don't bother me.
and that
The only
caught
thing
me
that really
way
messes
off
with
guard.
me is heights. That's the only thing that really scares me is heights.
And I was high right there, but
Where are you
like
now?
over 200 feet in the air.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope. 2 feet got you, bud.
Higher than Snoop Dogg on an airplane.
We've
So I
we've
gotta.
got a
Go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, no,
Nah,
no,
it's
go.
fine. Go ahead. I'm gonna get off in a long fucking rant. Just go ahead. Just change subject. Take it from me, man.
So, to carry back to what we were talking about, I gotta say, my most bullshitted holiday, I think, to me, honestly, it's probably Valentine's Day. Just, it's so corporate and just, it's not, I don't know. Valentine's Day needs to go. To stress what Max said, it follows a heavy giving holiday, be it Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. You get plenty of gifts 2 months before then, and then bam, here you have Valentine's Day, then you got Mother's Day. I think Valentine's Day should go. Me personally.
I 100% agree with you. So it's too close. Like you're barely financially recovering after
Mm-hmm.
spending thousands of dollars on iPads and cameras and trips and whatever
And then they
crap
want
you buy for the
jewelry.
kids. It's like thousands of dollars just went out the window, and then turn around 40 some odd days later, and your woman comes up to you like, "Did you get me a ring or a necklace? You're taking me out to the really nice restaurant that everyone else is going out to. Are we going to pay $47 for a dozen roses in a crappy little vase?"
Hey, look. By that time, you can't even afford to go to Five Guys. All right.
Like, darling, I spent a month and a half eating ramen and fucking not paying for anything just so we could actually keep the lights on. Now you want me to turn around and blow what little bit of money I've got coming back in to take you out for something nice?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if mine actually counts as a holiday, but daylight savings time can fuck off.
It's not really a holiday, but I understand with you. The day, the spring forward, fall back. It's great. It's like, hey, I get an hour here, then I lose an hour there, and then now
Like
it's dark as crap.
who comes up with these rules?
Like,
If they're not alive anymore, these rules do not come up anymore. Okay, daylight.
originally, it came up from Benjamin Franklin, and there was a way to save time and to adjust. But now that we are in a 24-hour world, yes, it is bull crap.
Well, isn't there a lot of states that are trying to pass laws to basically, not laws, but I guess
To
amendments?
stop to
Yeah.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: the one state that used to ignore it completely was Indiana, and then they just started following it like 10 years ago. Then all of a sudden, the movement came up like, let's start ignoring this, and they're like, wait, what? we've ignored this for 50 years. We finally joined in, and now you're going to try to get rid of it
Why in the hell
Yep.
would they have started?
because they were being pressed by the federal government. They were like one of two or three states that just ignored it, and they're one of those states that the time difference is right down the middle of the state. So it's already bad enough that there are towns that half the town is on Eastern time and the other half of the town is on Central time. So everyone's always screwing up the time.
Look, I agree that it doesn't help. As somebody who works from dawn to dusk, it doesn't make a shit to me. So
Mm-mm.
I don't understand it.
Yeah,
Well, again, the daylight saving times, we can go off on a different rant on that one. That kind of tied into the proposal at one point in time when America was supposed to switch over to a metric system. They had also proposed going to a 24-hour clock and just eliminating time zones.
Funny thing on the metric system though, when they're shipping it over, the 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 stable on how to weigh stuff in metric, it got hijacked by pirates.
That was early on, but yes, later on in the 80s, when they originally proposed switching it over for the turn of the millennium, they said it would be too difficult to put it in all the schools and train all the teachers in time.
I mean,
That's like the U.S. going to metric.
We're the only one that hasn't switched.
And
Like
half of
literally
Canada.
every.
I mean,
Yeah, we're the
it's
only out of all the places that were under the British rule, we're the only ones still under imperial
Yeah,
measurements.
it's
we
just
threw out the T. We kept the weight.
it's just as bad as trying to help my son with his math homework and them doing this Common Core bullshit. I don't.
Oh
Oh
man.
my god, it's like I stare at it, and he's trying to help me help him, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I just can tell you 2 + 2 is 4, and this is how you do it. And he's like, well, the teacher says you got to do this and do that. I'm like, no, sorry, that's not how I learned.
Well, some of the stuff actually is
It is
kind of
quicker,
useful,
yeah.
but at the same time, they also renamed how they did math. So they just the way of doing it is the same. They just put it in a different order and renamed it all. So I couldn't remember. I'm like, dude, I'm done.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, okay, damn it, why you get me off on this? But yeah, I was helping my son with some math, all right, and I understand math pretty well. I've done machine work and everything. You know, you got to be pretty good at it. But that aside, eh, they teach it differently now, and they teach it in a way that you have to go through 47 more steps, and you really need to
Mhm.
get to the same damn answer. And I was like, what in the shit is this? Why are they teaching you to do it this way? Of course, he doesn't know, you know. It's
Yeah, they told us was it a year ago or 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago, just before the coronavirus thing, that they are now going to discontinue Common Core math because it's actually too difficult to teach the teachers for the teachers and then turn around because the parents can't help the kids. So there's this giant gulf of kids who don't have good math fundamentals because they changed math. So now after a 10-year experiment of doing Common Core, they're actually abandoning it and going back to traditional math.
We can only hope.
I just
well,
Yeah,
love.
they
it's
are.
hard to understand because of the way they got it wrote in the book. Like I was reading it out of his book, and it was telling you to do all these steps. I was like, yeah, but you can knock off 10 of these steps and get to the answer by just doing this.
Well, again,
It,
yeah, the idea of doing those multiple steps for the simple math, it makes it more complicated. But once they get to the complicated math, it actually makes it more simple. So they had the right idea. They were building for, let's say, the eighth and ninth inning. The first two innings is just like, this doesn't make sense. Why am I doing this extra work these first two innings?
It was a very
It, it,
Asian way
it
of
was
doing
building
math.
for a more complex math set. But
Yeah, a lot of Asian cultures do mash, do math that
Mash.
way. Yeah, they do mash that way, you know. But that's how they do math, and I've seen a lot of the ways they do it, and it looks simple at first, but it's just to me, it's you know, 20
well,
years,
again,
30.
for the way we all learned, it was
Hmm.
different. They taught you you're doing early math and early grades. Now we're doing mid grades, middle school. You're doing middle school math. Oh, now you're high school era. Now you're doing high school math. They were trying to teach these kids the principles of doing high school math in elementary because, like my son, had just started middle sixth grade. Now he's a little smarter, so he's advanced. But the dude is bringing home like pre-calc and pre-trig, and I'm
Hmm.
like, dude, I didn't get this far in my high school. I I can't help you. Like you're no, you're done. I'm Dad's
Yeah,
done helping.
Tapped
exactly,
out.
Like wait,
exactly.
come to me when it comes to geography and history time, and I'll keep pushing for you. But you're at the top of my math abilities.
just tell him what I tell mine. Like just read the damn book because if you want me to help you, that's what I'm going to do. Just read the damn book.
Oh, he's so smart now. He don't even need me half the time. Just every now and then they have like one of the simple problems that he can't figure out, but he gets these complex ones, and I'm just like, He's like, oh, that's easy, Dad. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you saw it, boy.
Well, that's like teachers, me coming all through high school. teachers always said, "Oh, you can't use a calculator because you're not going to guarantee you're going to have a calculator in your pocket when you get older." But
That was a damn lie.
yeah. I mean, I know with Mac it was abiscuses or whatever you call those
Man, you
things.
son of a.
They were still using stone, man.
Yeah, chiseling it out.
Oh.
Hey, you know what messed me up is when I took the qualifying test for the police for getting into the police. The one of the one of the sections is you got to do math, but it doesn't tell you if you can use a calculator or not. And so everybody's sitting there trying to do this shit in their head. I'm like, we have calculators on our phones. Our phones are in our pockets in our cruisers. If we're at the station, there's computers. I was like, can I use my calculator? No one answered me.
I could hear this.
But it didn't matter because there was a damn 6-foot chain link fence that they'd expected me to get over. And Dad's like, just you're 6'6", just walk over it. And I was like, that's not how this works.
You just put your shoulder in that sucker and you rip all the ties out of that chain link fence.
I was going to do that, but the sergeant that was running the qualifications said, if you break my fence, big boy, we're going to have issues. And then we got to the part where we're supposed to jump through. They had a little wooden shed, and there was a little square, like 5x5 hole you had to jump through. And I was like, you're my age. You remember the Kool-Aid Man commercials?
Oh,
He said, please do not.
yeah.
He said, please do not break my shed. I was like, we'll try. But it didn't matter because we didn't get over that 6-foot gate. And I looked at all my buddies at cops and like, where do you see a 6-foot fence? He's like, we usually look for a gate or a door. I was like, yeah, that's what I said.
That's like when I went through the fire academy. We had to we're in full turnout gear with SCBA and everything, your breathing apparatus and everything on, and it was simulating crawling through a house and having to cut through the sheetrock, and you had to squeeze through standard stud sizes in a residential home, which is what, like 12 to 15 inches, I can't remember. And you had to basically take your air pack off and your helmet, slide it through the hole, put your air pack on without coming off of your mask, and then squeeze your fat ass in this little slat. We had a guy who was, he was about 6'5", 350. I mean, built like a brick shit house. He was not fat at all, and he got
so sexy, yeah.
Yeah, he got stuck halfway through it and started panicking. He took, and when I say he was swole, he was swole. He grabbed both of those fucking studs and just ripped them apart and went right through it. And, and our instructor was like, well, it works, it works, But that shit, I'm not claustrophobic at all. I don't mind being in a tight space, but a lot of that training I had to go through, it really makes you start to get claustrophobic. Especially when they black out your mask and you have to crawl through all kinds of obstacles and everything else, following the hose and rescue somebody and then get out, all while being blacked out. Yeah, sometimes makes you rethink what you're actually scared of.
I never cared for SCBA stuff anyway. Fuck that.
I learned for what, 8 weeks, 9 weeks to basically you did everything in your SCBA to get used to it.
I tell you what's really fun, being a nuclear plant inside of a hot area, and then the damn lights go out.
Oh, that's yeah.
That'll give you some tickles up the back of your spine.
We were
Fuck that shit.
swapping some halon bottles out one time when I was doing fire protection and replacing them with FM200 systems, and we were down in a pit, and the only way to get them out is you had to release it somehow. Well, the guy wasn't thinking. The guy that was working with us was still kind of new to the suppression side of things, and we weren't really paying. It's our fault. We weren't paying attention to what he was doing. So he was thinking, "Oh, I'll just throw the handle and empty the bottles while we're down in this pit." And I don't know if you know much about halon. It will kill you quick. So he releases 2. I can't remember how many pound tanks they were, but they were quite large tanks in this pit while we're down there with them. We almost murdered him getting out of this hole and trying to run and haul ass out of there. That is the scariest I have been in my life. Because all you see is this cloud of halon and us running out of it.
Yeah, that stuff forces the oxygen out of a room.
Mhm.
It's extremely dangerous.
It is very dangerous. That's why a lot of places it's outlawed in most places, and why they're replacing it all with FM200 systems.
Well, again, the same time, depending on where you're at, like we use it in kitchens,
Mhm.
and we always had we had to do the fire drills from time to time. The fire marshal would come through and make sure we had all done it, and it was one of those situations where you had to make sure everybody was out of the kitchen before you pulled that cord to start that thing off, because, like you said, it's just going to basically anybody that's left in that room is done,
Mhm.
and that's why we always had it designated, and usually as the sous chef or the head chef or the kitchen manager, that was my job, was to make sure everybody was either out the front of the doors in the front of the house or out the back door for the kitchen, and then you yank that sucker and then get a quick head count, make sure nobody was left in there, because otherwise it's got to make an explanation why somebody got left inside.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you what, we never had it in any of my kitchens, but we went to one of the kitchens that had a fire just to see the aftermath. Holy God. I think the fire would have been better just letting the fire burn out.
Yeah.
They probably used water to put it out.
No, because they used just the halon system, and the halon system went off, and that whole damn kitchen was just covered in that crap, and it sprayed with such intensity in the oil fryers that it had put basically an inch of now congealed and cooled grease and oil all over the floor, all over the walls, all over the freaking cook stations. It's
Oh, yeah,
like you should
blew
have
it
just let
out.
this you should have just let this place burn.
I just realized on our bucket of chicken for deep fried friends, if we would have had Mac, Elklin, Swookie, and Spanky, it would have been mess.
We are a hot mess. Because I never got to say what my bullshit holiday was, so I'm gonna double back on that.
There
We're
you
gonna
go.
beat this holiday thing on the head real quick. Uh, I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna get killed for it from the other room. I hate Halloween. It is a bullshit
I get that.
holiday.
I get that.
It was a cool holiday when you were a kid, or when you were an asshole teenager, because you TP people or scared the crap out of younger kids and take their candy. I am a grown ass adult. I can buy my own candy at any damn time. I don't need to go walking around the neighborhood begging for candy. Number two, Halloween is during the cold. I hate the cold. The only thing that should be cold is my ice cream and my beer. Keep my fat ass indoors. And three, although it brings joy to my children, they make me walk, and I hate it. I don't like getting my ass out of the house. Every year I get older, I get more and more curmudgeonly, and I don't want to leave. And they make me leave to go watch a parade, to go walk around neighborhoods that I'm never in, to ask people for candy that I don't need because I can buy it my damn self.
Just throw them the keys. Tell them to take the damn self out.
And
You
then
ain't
the people will be like, "Well, what about putting up like seeing hot girls in outfits?" I've been married for 16 years. I was same woman for 18. I don't need to see girls in slutty outfits. I love it, but I can't have it no more. It's dangerous.
See,
Um,
that's the only reason I like it anyway.
for young
Even did
people,
like it.
yeah, for young people, fine. That's great. It's a great day to act like a jackass, to drink, to see girls slutted up. But again, like if you were one of those people that you like putting on outfits, it's now socially acceptable to dress up in an outfit every day of the year. You could just say you're a TikTok influencer, or an Instagram, or a Snap Thought, or whatever the hell the terms are nowadays. People can put on costumes whenever they feel like it. This no longer mentally ill if you're walking around dressed up as Goku or Zelda. You can do that any day of the year now. You don't have to wait for Halloween.
Holy shit, Mac knows who Goku is.
I'm shocked. He said Goku, and I was like, "Whoa, the inner weeb is coming
I
out."
look, I didn't catch the rest of that sentence. All I caught was "Holy shit!" That he
So
knows who Goku is.
pretty.
But yeah, I said if you want to dress up in an outfit, dress up in an outfit. Do your thing. Be yourself. Have fun. Like there's no more social stigma against it anymore. If you want candy and be a fat ass, eat your candy, be a fat ass, but just brush your damn teeth. Do some sit ups later on.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So to me, again, even for the little kids, like you're making your kids happy. That's great. But to me, it's a bullshit holiday. It's another way to waste a bunch of money.
I
It'd be like
agree.
the
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I loved it up until I my ex and I split. I didn't get to see my son for a lot of Halloweens, but I can remember one of my, fondest memories is I have two younger brothers. One is we've mentioned before. One's 21. He just got married this past weekend, so congrats and
Congrats to him.
condolences to my brother.
No,
and
he's in the honeymoon phase. They're going at it like rabbits. Oh, he's
uh,
happy.
yeah, they just got back from Gatlinburg on their honeymoon, so he
Baby in tow.
and my youngest brother's 19. Anyway, I was a senior in high school. My girlfriend and I at the time decided because my two younger brothers were both had the flu or something, they were really sick. We decided we were going to go out trick or treating for them. So I dressed up as a firefighter. She dressed up as a burn victim. We went to some rich areas in the Birmingham metro area, Hoover, stuff like that. And for the most part, people loved it. But then you come across a few of them that were like, "Oh, you're too old to be trick or treating," and just look down on you for doing it. I don't know. That was my favorite memory of Halloween. I mean, we ended up coming home with two giant king pillowcases full of candies for my brothers, and that to me was fun. But I do get what you're saying. It's still one of those commercialized holidays. It's just nothing but money, and I'm too old and fat now to get out and enjoy it. I would much rather just watch spooky movies at home and just chill.
Yeah, and that's again that's fine. To each their own. For me, I hate Halloween. My wife loves it, so I tolerate it. We have a long tradition here in the town we live in. We got one of the oldest Halloween parades in the Midwest. Um,
Mac was there at startup.
you son of a bitch. But still, like I said, everybody loves it. They have fun. I tolerate it, but I take it or leave it. Like, and I use this example. I know I'm becoming a curmudgeon. My wife has a family member, or he has now since passed, but he was Uncle Rudy, and Uncle Rudy I met two times in the 14 years that I've been with my wife until Uncle Rudy passed, because Uncle Rudy didn't do shit. I saw Uncle Rudy at his son's wedding, and I saw Uncle Rudy at his sister-in-law's funeral, my wife's aunt.
Yeah.
Other than that, Uncle Rudy knew everybody's birthday, so they all got a present. Every Christmas there was presents from Uncle Rudy for those kids. He still loved his family and he took care of everybody, but Uncle Rudy worked his job until he retired, and then 4 years later he passed on. But Uncle Rudy worked and then sat at home to be left the hell alone. He and his wife had separate houses. That's how much he wanted to be left alone. They
So
weren't divorced.
now
They
we
were,
know where he gets it from.
dude. The more and more I see this, Rudy had the right idea. I am heading the Rudy route. Rudy is now my Buddhist temple. I'm going to pray at the temple of Rudy because I love Rudy's aspect. It's just work, pay for your responsibilities, and do what makes you happy. Fuck everybody else.
You said you don't even have to dress up to scare the kids. I'm pretty sure it's Strelick.
But yeah, Rudy had the right idea. He was more of a curmudgeon than I will ever be. But God bless
Those
Rudy.
old timey words. We're sitting trying to Google what curmudgeon is.
Cranky old man. God.
Oh, that is
damn.
you to a T.
Exactly.
So, funny story back to Mac hating the cold. Just to make sure everybody understands how much Mac hates the cold. We had a mission on Arma for Milsim on a map that was set in the wintertime. This man looked at me, said, "I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a hoodie." This was like middle of fucking summer, mind you. And this man goes, "I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a hoodie." Legit sitting there waiting on it. He comes back. I was like, "Did you get it?" He's like, "Yeah." Other people come back. "Where you been, Mac?" I had to go grab a hoodie. They're like, "It's summertime." I'm like, he hates the cold. Like, we'll not do the cold. Like, as long as I know Mac, the cold is not a thing to him.
Nope, dude. The only time I'll eat ice cream is the 3 months of summer, June to August. Like I will not eat ice cream any other time of the year.
So how cold does it get where you're at?
Where I'm here in St. Louis, so we get down 0, -20, whatever the hell it happens to be. It was flurry in here today, dude. You want to see somebody upset and cussing? Oh, dude, the one of the little gals I work with, she's like, "Oh my God, it's snowing!" And dude, the string of curse words that came out of me would get us kicked off of TOS right now. Like
Why the hell do you live where it gets cold if you hate the cold?
because my wife lives here and she loves this area, and I love my wife and I love my children. and therefore I am banished to the hell that is the Midwest.
Oh,
Hey,
don't
so
you
like
know?
growing up, like so when I was younger, we lived in California because we moved around the whole time. So never really got any cold weather when we lived there. And then we moved to Philadelphia,
Ooh.
and that messed me up because we went from sunshine all the time to hello darkness, my old friend. It was just like it was either raining or snowing. It was not happy. And then
And
we
the
moved.
coldest place I've been to was fucking Wyoming. Just it's snowing fucking sideways. Terrible place. Don't go there, Mac. I hated it.
Dude,
Could you imagine Mac in Alaska, in like middle of
no.
winter?
I said
Well,
I
Alaska
went.
gets that damn cold.
Yeah, I went to Canada.
Um,
Shit, when was
You
that?
went to Canada?
I went to
I've been
Canada,
to
but
Canada.
but listen, it was during the summertime. This was a July, and my buddy was originally from Ontario, from Mississauga, which is just southwest of Toronto. So we wanted to go back, and he wanted to see his friends that he went to high school with in Barrie, Ontario, which is again is just to the west of Toronto. Nice town. So we go back, we see his family in Mississauga, we go to Barrie, and this is summertime. We left St. Louis and it was like 105, just sweltering, just all the humidity coming off the rivers, just horrible, horrible heat. We get to Canada and they're suffering from, and I quote, a heat wave. And after doing the conversion from freedom units to metric, it was like 78 degrees there. And dude, they were locked indoors with their AC on. Like they wouldn't come outside. Like we got there and we went to the bank and we exchanged American money for Canadian monopoly money. I found out that in summertime, Canadians, the females can go topless. I love that country for that. That's fantastic. We could drink at 19 and gamble at 19.
Message.
Yep, thank you. Uh, but we went there and like for the first 2 or 3 days, like they were in the middle of a heat wave and there was a heat advisory. People were like freaking out, and we're trying to go out to the cabin. We're trying to go out drinking, and these people were losing their mind. They're like, "How can you guys stand this?" I'm like, "A, we just came from a place that was 105, and B, I was born and raised in Texas, where this is a cool spring day. This ain't nothing."
Hey,
I was like,
that's springtime.
but I tell
Depends
you
on
what,
what part of Texas you're from, though.
I was from the Gulf Coast. I'm from Houston.
Yeah, see, if you get on up around Amarillo, it gets a little different.
Oh yeah, it gets a little drier. It's not as much humidity, but yeah, being down there in the bayou near Houston, ooh Lord,
Oh, down
It
there in
also
the
snows
bayou.
fucking sideways in Amarillo. Seen it.
yeah, that's you get there up off the Great Plains, so they get the bottoms of those storms. But yeah, I said we got there, and I told him I was like, I'm about to get the hell out of your state, your beautiful country, though, come August, because as soon as that first chill wind gets through there, I am gone.
That was like when we moved from Virginia down here to back to Arkansas. Like they got a snowstorm and got like 2 inches, and it was like 30 degrees, and I'm sitting there wearing shorts. Everybody's like, "Are you okay?" Like, yeah, this is not cold. I was like, played football in almost negative weather, and so they got 2 inches on the ground. School's canceled. People are freaking out, not driving anywhere. I'm sitting there just cruising around, just like, what is wrong with you people? And then we got like, it was probably right around when my son was born. Got a really decent snowstorm. I had 22s in my Suburban at that point. I drove in two-wheel drive with my 22s to work, and the boss was like, everybody else called in. I was like, well, I got 22s on my ride, so it's not about the pay raise.
Yeah, right.
But man,
Oh man, yeah, I like the cold personally. I'm fat, so like I get hot easy. I I don't know. I just like the cold. I sweat too much in the hot and the heat. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's like a
Then
glistening pig.
friction happens, and it's just not a good time.
all
Yeah.
the chafing. All right, so I agree and disagree with all of y'all because I work outside every fucking day. So I hate both. I
Mhm.
hate hot.
Mhm.
I hate cold. All right, I hate it both.
Yeah.
It's that damn summertime. You got fucking cup of water floating around the crack of your ass. It's
Mhm.
terrible. All right, and then wintertime comes around. You can't feel shit. You can't feel your hands. You can't feel your face. You can't feel your feet. You and I work. I'm a contractor. I work kind of construction type stuff. So we got the porta johns, right? Go try to take a damn shit when you sit down. The damn cold wind hits the crack of your ass.
I'd much rather shit then than I would when it's 105 degrees out and it smells like
Yeah.
a
See,
goddamn tiger
and
pen.
see, that's just as bad. That's just as bad
Oh,
because you know what kind of toilet paper they put in those things? It's ghost
yeah,
paper. All right, you
yeah.
go down with a handful of paper and you come back with nothing
Mhm.
except for you know.
Oh, we call that John Wayne paper because it don't take shit off nobody.
No, 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 no. I know what you're talking about, John Wayne paper. That's that rough, tough, that take shit off nobody's paper.
No, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
that see-through one-ply like leftover sandpaper.
Yeah, no, this stuff right here just disappears. All right,
Mhm.
you like as soon as it gets slightly moist, like just humid. All right, it just disappears because it's that shitty of paper. Right, so whenever it's hot as fuck, you get in there and you're sweaty, and like it just kind of melts through your hand, and you're all of a sudden like, oh shit, where'd the paper go? It's
Where'd she
fucking
go?
terrible. So I hate both of them. I hate the hot. I hate the cold.
See,
Fuck
I'm
both
with
of
you.
them.
I'm not looking forward to 100+ degree days every day of the year, but I would much rather it be like 84, 85, maybe like a 65-degree night, so that way I can have some barbecue and not freeze my ass off. And then at nighttime, you throw a bonfire out, have the music rocking, everybody sitting around in chairs, bullshitting, cracking beers. I'm fine with a little bit of cold. Like I'm talking like once you get below that 40-degree mark where that horrible S word starts being mentioned, that's when I'm just like, nah, fam, I'm done. Y'all need to take that filthy word the hell out of your lexicon and get that shit away from me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only white powder I should see should be on the nose of fucking Tony Montana face, and he's talking about little friends.
Say hello to my little friend.
Pick it one day a year, and that's Christmas morning, and that shit better be melted by dinner time.
I ain't never in my life seen snow on Christmas Day.
Oh, we
Me
had it all the
neither.
time.
Well, see, so every year for Christmas we would drive back to Arkansas no matter where we were, and so I mean, it doesn't really snow that much here. And usually, if it does snow, it's like the day before Christmas or it flurries the day of Christmas, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't count.
Yeah. 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 I mean, we don't see much snow here, but when we do, it shuts down the entire goddamn state. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
the
They even think it's about to happen. Everything's
yup.
closed, shut down. Everybody goes buy milk and bread, and you're like, why?
Why? I've never understood.
That's what cracks me up about living in the South is we're prepared for everything except for winter inclement weather.
Yeah.
Because you
That is the
don't
one
get
thing
it
that
very
will
often.
mess us. That is the one thing that throws the entire southern part of the U.S. off. We're like, what do we do with this?
Well, again, the perfect example is if you can't drive because you don't have snow plows, you don't have salt. It's just it's if you're not prepared for it, it's like again for places like in the northern part of the country and when they had those heat waves this last summer in Minnesota and North Dakota and Montana when they're having 100-degree days. I remember it was what the hell was it? It was hotter in Seattle than it was in Houston. And I'm like, how the hell is that even possible?
And they were all dying.
Oh, dude, they
Atlanta.
were
Fucking
melting.
Atlanta. Them motherfuckers can't even drive when it's dry, much less
I,
if it snows or rains or any damn
Oh.
thing else.
He's
yeah,
referring to NYC. NYC said he remembered when the giant Atlanta pileups happened when it snowed.
I lived it.
Oh, yeah.
I was here when it happened. We had guys in our company that, luckily, myself and my foreman at the time, we were about 40 minutes ahead of when it hit. We had finished up our job, called them. They're like, "Oh, we might be sending you into Decatur, which is further into Atlanta from where we were at." And we were like, "You know what? It's starting to snow. We're just gonna go home." They're like, "That's fine." We literally got on I-85 behind the salt trucks. It took us, we were bitching because it took us 45 minutes to go 15, a normally 15-minute drive. We were
Oh, yeah.
bitching, and then later on we found out we had guys stuck on the interstate for 18 hours that were stuck because they were on the north side of Atlanta. They lived in the south side and they got stuck overnight. They were fucked. And like I said, Atlanta shuts down. I mean, even like what Spanky said, it doesn't have to be wet. It doesn't have to be anything. It could just be a normal day. They cannot drive here. That's coming from somebody who lives here. No one knows how to drive here. It's horrible.
We blame it on the people passing through. All right,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
there's some damn northerners that are used to going in a straight line, don't know how to take a corner. All right, that's what it is.
We were all raised on left turns, so I mean,
Hey, I'm telling you, when I was living in Kansas City at the time, we were rated the fourth deadliest roads to drive on. The Out of the top 10, 8 of the top 10 towns that were the most deadly to drive on, at least the year that I was there in '03, were towns in Florida because of old people. Kansas City, and I forget the other city that was put on there, but Kansas City was number 4, and they said they attributed it to a higher than average highway speed, and I quote, a desire to drive like race car drivers, where they take a turn signal as a challenge to their position and authority on the road.
that's
Hey,
true.
look, I turn mine on. I count to 3. I'm coming. Get the fuck out of my way. All right. That's how
Yeah.
long you have until I'm coming over.
Yeah. Yeah.
My favorite ones are people that sit there and ride with their turn signal on for about 5 miles.
Oh.
Oh, that's
You know,
why
they actually started adding like the program cars nowadays, so that whenever you leave it on like that, it'll actually yell at you to tell you to
yeah,
turn
it'll
it
start
off
beeping
because
at
it
you.
happens so much.
Yeah, but
Well,
9% of the time it's some old person. They can't hear that thing
Oh, no.
yelling at them.
Well, see,
I
here's my
know.
thing, and I said this as a delivery driver. I hate it because if you drive around as a delivery driver, either for a pizza place or for an auto parts, or if you're in, I don't know, if you're an electrician in a truck or whoever you are, if you're a commercial driver and you're driving for part of your job, and God forbid you cut somebody off for real or perceived, they have the ability to call your boss and bitch at you and yell and blah blah blah.
Yep.
But Joe Schmo in his blue Honda Accord, or Dave in his purple Dodge Ram, I can't call them, and if I follow them, that's considered road rage. I think everybody's license plates needs to be turned into their damn cell phones, so that if I'm behind Ma and Pa Kettle, who have been going down I-70 for the last 43 minutes with the right blinker on, I can be like, "Hey, you old bastard, turn off your blinker or get off the fucking highway."
Shit, or get off the pot.
Dude, I'm not going to go down this tangent, but I'm just going to say this. Anybody over the age of 70 needs to be tested every single goddamn year for the ability to drive. I don't give a shit about your rights, your freedoms, or your commitment and your whatever you've done for this country. At 70 years old, you're too old, you're clogging up the roads, you're taking up space, and your fucking cars are too big and in the way. Get them the hell off my road.
I mean, I agree with
So
you too.
Soylent Green.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Listen, we can do a whole episode about me just ranting about old folks, but I just want them off the road. Like, cool, you guys want to go to your early bird special at Denny's or IHOP or whatever? Do your shit. Get off my road by 3 p.m. and get the fuck out of the way, so those of us who have put in a hard day's work can get the hell home. You put in your time, enjoy your retirement, get the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do y'all
There
want
was-
a pot and kettle podcast? Mac
There
yelling
is-
about old people.
There was so many
I am
open
42.
windows.
I ain't that old yet, Spanky. As many
There
as
was-
these goddamn jokes roll around.
There was so many open windows right there. I bit my tongue the whole
Yeah,
fucking
you couldn't
time.
jump through that open window either, fat boy.
Waka
I'm not fat
waka.
anymore, so kiss my ass.
Oh.
Just because you've had one bout of the COVID does not mean you are still skinny. We ain't calling you slim anytime soon.
I'm 260 pounds.
Oh boy.
Nicknamed him Tiny.
So the one thing I will add to Mac's rant there is a little caveat, if you will. Maybe not strip their license, but make them
Oh no, take that shit.
take another driver's test, just like you would a 16-year-old.
Every year.
I mean, yes. After you hit
I don't want them
70,
to take their license away. I want them to prove every single, because there are some guys who are 80 and 90 years old who are fit and spry and they got it. And there are people who are 62 who don't know which way is up.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm stepping all over you, brother.
Yeah, NYC talking about the snowbird season and the foreign retirees are showing up. You were what, in mid to South Florida, NYC? Is that correct? Somewhere along that line?
Yeah, he's in Yankee Land, Florida.
Yeah, he's not in Lower Alabama.
God's waiting room.
Well, they're all staying
Central,
alive
yeah.
because they're all kept in freaking frozen storage.
Yeah, right? They thaw
Yeah,
out
some
for
of
the
them are
winter.
Disney
And
Tech.
You want to talk about people who are wasting money on energy and killing the environment?
Yes.
how many of those people are still running on the old school Freon down there?
Yeah. You were on the Space Coast area. I forget about that. You down there
Right
near.
near Merritt Island. My island.
Hey,
Which proves how long Mac's been in America.
oh,
Fucker, I walked into that
yes,
one.
you did.
You fucking, the door was not even open yet, and you just thunk.
I backed into that one like I had Crisco on my ass cheeks in a freaking half grown cornfield.
Waka waka. What the fuck?
I
Uh,
Stumped him.
I got shit on that one, boys.
I had to stop on that one.
Hey, quiet. The corn has ears.
All right, boys, we're pushing an hour here. We gotta wrap
yeah,
this
we are.
sucker up.
Yep. Alrighty. So,
All right, any final thoughts on holidays and all the bullshit that goes with it?
Anybody in chat?
nothing I have to add. Open it up to chat. If y'all have anything quick you want to say, want to ask, want to do, be my guest. Unless your name is Smirky.
Holidays pay better.
Holiday pay is nice for those of y'all who get time and a half or double time, or the ones who somehow finagle triple time out of it. Woo!
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Once upon a time, I got
Damn
triple
union
time.
workers.
Hey, don't you hate on my union?
Dude, I'm not. I'm about to get this new pickup truck, and I'm hoping they're getting that union bonus, so I get an extra 4,500 off on my truck. So I ain't shitting on unions.
You
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
The only time you ever hear Mac cheer about the union.
Yeah, that money.
I was raised by a union breaker. I don't have a problem with unions in general. I'm with the fact that you're keeping the bosses from taking advantage of you. It's just, to me, the unions now have had too much power and driven too much business away from America, like the United Auto Workers. Why did all the factories move to Mexico? Because they don't have unions and they're not charging $78 an hour to bolt on a door.
Yeah. My big.
I can go both ways on it.
Yeah.
I'm with you. There's
There is good and bad
all
in
of it.
both, yes. And I'm all for the good side of it. I dislike the bad side of it, because I was a Teamster for a while. I drove trucks. I had to be part of the Teamsters.
No longer actually like a craft. Like most of the people in it nowadays aren't trained. Like, they don't actually know their craft that fucking well. It's actually pretty bad.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah.
nepotism. They've had a friend of a friend or a family member, and they got them in, and now they're just
Buddy.
bilking us for way too much money, and they stand around and tug on each other's
Some
dicks.
of them got that bald spot on the back of their head. They got some chafing on the knees. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's like my when I was in the sprinkler works. But I mean fire sprinklers and there is a huge union, but I mean in Georgia the unions aren't big here. Especially
No,
for my career
not in the
field.
South.
Yeah. So my problem with the unions, I personally don't have a problem with it. They did great for us. They gave us the 5-day work week, and we get all the time off that we do get. Thank you to the unions. Give them where credit's due. Problem
Yep.
is you working in a field and being called a scab for doing what you do, because you're not part of a union. And it's like, look, if I were to join a union where I'm at, either A, I'm going to be traveling out of state all the time to work, or B, I'm going to be sitting my ass on the bench not being able to work because there's no work here for the union. So I just got tired of all the shit talking the union guys did to us non-union guys, is why I have such a bad taste, especially about the sprinkler union. I mean, other unions aren't bad. I know the electrical union and the plumbing union around here, they're good guys, but my in my profession, it was not a good thing.
The electrical union is probably the only one in the South that's still actually relatively strong and
Yeah.
worth a shit.
Yeah.
The second
Teamsters.
one might be the operators, which is the one I'm in.
Alrighty, so I guess that's just about wraps it up for episode 2 of Deep Fried Friends, the good, the bad, the bullshit of the holidays. Hope everyone enjoyed. This is Swooky signing off, and I'll hand it over to whoever's next in the pipeline. Don't all jump at
I guess
once.
that's me. Y'all have a nice evening.
Y'all come back now. You hear?
Damn right. And again, for those of y'all, do have a good holiday. Keep your family close. That's what's important. The presents are nice and all the other stuff, but remember, it just comes down to the family. It doesn't mean it has to be blood family. your close friends or family as well. And that's just like these boys are just like brothers, even though we don't share the same mom or dad.
I don't know. He
And we
might have
want y'all to be
fathered a
part of
few
our
of us.
family too. So definitely join us again. Watch episode 1, rewatch this, tell everybody to come on watch it, and we're gonna get episode 3 out here shortly. And like Swookie alluded to at the beginning, we're gonna get this on Spotify and Stitcher and all them other podcast things. We got people helping us that are way smarter than us. So
For damn sure.
Don't take much.
Mm-mm.
Alright, y'all be safe. Be kind to each other. Catch y'all later.
Deuce.
gig 'em.
Roll Tide.